We're going to start with the invocation from Doug Broxma. Did I say it right? Broxma. I don't, is this really working? Yeah. You'll have to hold it close.
In spite of all the vowels, it is only 2 syllables. If you haven't done so, please silence all your devices, please. Father God, we approach you this day with awe and humility. You have blessed us beyond measure. We thank you for the privilege of living in this amazing environment, for your provision that enables our life at Cypress Village. To those who keep all facets of Cypress running, to those who provide for our well-being, for friendships forged among former strangers. We ask your special blessing on those who mourn the loss of a loved one, for those who are facing struggles of any kind, for continued health of management staff and residents, for an end to the scourge that COVID has inflicted upon us, for an invigorated spirit of collaboration between all of us, for Solomon's wisdom as management guides us, for the resident council as they seek the will of residents, for both as they work together to make Cypress the best it can be. We close asking your mercy on us whenever we have failed, for those whom we may have wronged, when we have spewed unkind words to others, when we have failed to step in to help someone in need. We now ask your blessing on the meeting before us, in whose name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you volunteering to do that. Very nice. Jim, do the invocation.
I'll stand here.
Okay.
If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jim. Next, we have human resource recognition. Angie?
Good morning. Happy New Year. Please join me in congratulating our first Employees of the Month, Rookie of the Month, and Leader of the Quarter for the year. I would like at this time to ask for Brandon Holger, Alveda Brown, Deja Curse, any of our people, and Miss Johanna Grant to come share the podium with me this time. Missing a couple of people. I'm going to start off with Alveda Brown. Alveda is a CNA in our healthcare facility. Alveda has been serving our community for 27 years, and we are honored and grateful for her commitment to our residents each and every day. Her dedication to our community goes without notice, and we thank you so very much for so many years of service here at the community.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I love my job.
We're going to give you the microphone.
Yep, yes. This is for you. There's more to come next week. This is for you. We'll have a private invitation to the service award.
I just want to say thank you all. I enjoy working for Cypress Village for 27 years. I remember when I first started, it's still, it's even better. I've never seen anyone do so much renovations in my life. This is the best. I don't ever want to leave. I love this place. And everyone comes here, they love it as well. And I just tell them how awesome our therapy department is, and before they leave, they tell me I was right. So if you ever need it, we're there. I hope you don't, but we're great. And I enjoy waiting on you guys if you ever have to come over. Even come to visit. You'll like it. Thank you.
And I think we're missing Brandon. I think he's running a little late. He's probably doing something around the community, so we're gonna move on. Next, I would like to recognize Rookie of the Month, Deja Curse. Deja is our programming coordinator for assisted living. She has done a wonderful job for assisted living with getting the programs resumed for the department and getting our residents more active and excited about activities. Deja has launched our Sagely technology platform, which will positively impact the communication with residents and their families. Congratulations to you, Deja, and continued success.
Hello, I am Deja, the AL Activities Girl. I haven't been working here that long, but the time I have, I love it here. Everybody is so friendly. Look at all your smiles. I really enjoy working here. I really enjoy interacting with you guys, and you guys have the best stories and the best everything. Best advice, best stories, best laughs, best jokes, best inappropriate jokes. But I thank you guys, and I'm here to stay.
Congratulations again. Congratulations.
Good job.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Johanna Grant. Johanna is our Health and Fitness Director in Assisted Living. Johanna joined our team back in July of last year and has made strides with our assisted living neighborhood and her team alike. Johanna, we are grateful for all your efforts day in and day out to ensure our residents are being provided excellent care. I congratulate you.
All right.
So things do happen in full circle. I was here in 2013 as a floor nurse in skilled nursing. So with that being said, you never know. That's why you always have to treat people with love, respect. Because you might have to cross that bridge once again. So with that, I'm thankful for Ty and Stephanie to bring me back aboard. And I left off with good standards, so that was a blessing as well. I will continue to do my job the best way that I can, and thank you all for paving the way for me, because you guys are stronger than the women that's born today. It's the truth. So, thank you, and to all you guys, have a blessed day.
Oh, my love. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congrats.
Brandon, no Brandon yet? Okay. Well, I just want to say I thank you for being an example to your peers and providing the best for our residents and our employees. We are very fortunate to have you on the team. We rely on employees like you to provide the best experience to our residents, and you've demonstrated that. Your work ethic exemplifies Cypress Village's principles and core values, and we look forward to your future successes, and congratulations again to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angie. My favorite part of the meeting. So I just wanted to make a few comments. We have our new council. This is January. This year, Wendy came up with a wonderful idea to recognize a council and mostly the committees, because they don't get recognized nearly enough for all the work they do. And particularly the people that have left because of term limits. So I thought this was a good time to talk a little bit about the purpose and function of the Resident Advisory Council. And this past year, we made sure we had advisory in everything we do to remind not just you, but all of us and the committee members that we are in advisory capacity. And we do our best to resolve whatever your desires are. We are the voice of the resident, and we represent you, as I said, in an advisory capacity. Some examples of, and these are just examples, I'm probably going to miss something important to someone. There's just examples of some of the things, improvements we've been working on. Pam has worked hard on the problem we've had in parking lot A, working with Dave Green to resolve it. And, you know, the problem, we thought it was resolved and it wasn't. And so Pam went back to the drawing board with Dave and everything seemed fine again. And now we have that problem again. And Dave and Pam are working on it once again. They have more exterminators coming in. The facilities committee and some of the other committees joined together, and they're still working on that to make improvements to the workout room. They've assisted with a very successful activities fair, and one of the things that came out of that was a regular new activity, Games Day, which lots of people enjoy, and it's a great way to go and meet people and find something new to do. They recommend resident events to the activities director. And of course that comes from all of you. The healthcare committee did a big recognition for the fire station, who, as you know, as a resident of Cypress Village, you know how much they help us. So that was really nice. They also staged the healthcare symposium in 2021. They initiated the to-go bags for residents to take to the hospital and developed a list of things that you need to put in your to-go bag. The dining committee advises dining management of likes and dislikes of food and other presentation of the food. They advise, and also the dress code coming up soon. But they've been working on that. The veterans, and Jim will probably touch on that on his remarks, but they developed and implemented the Veterans Wall, as you know. That was really a big thing. And they planned an outstanding Veterans Day events. So this is just a sample. And I thank the council and any of the committee members that are here, and we will thank them again when we have our recognition lunch for them. Thank you. Next up is the treasurer's report. Bill?
Beginning balance at the beginning of last year was $1,489.88. And beginning balance at the beginning of this year was $797.88, and I just deposited $31 for an overall total of $828.88. Last year we had income of $2,768.88. That 88 hangs around a lot. And total outflows, which were the Cypress Line, Employee Appreciation, and the Scholarship Fund, of $1,850. So as I say, we got $828.88.
Thank you. Somebody that goes to Coffee Chat, the next time you leave your dollar, add another 12 cents. So.
Good call. Round up.
And we have less money this year because we have had Coffee Chat. It's not as packed as it used to be. But we have been able to be generous. I think we gave to the CB Log, and we gave to the Scholarship Fund, and we gave to the Christmas Fund. So, and that's all your money. Thank you. Next up are some of the committee updates. First, the Healthcare Committee. Wendy?
Good morning. I'm not going to talk about the wonderful Healthcare Committee, but I got something else on my mind. Where else can you chat up a fitness guru, learn about ElderSource? Well, what is ElderSource? Well, hang on, I'll let you know where you can find out. Where else can you open wide for a dentist? And consult with a committee, consult with a cosmetic expert. And where else can you make an appointment for a massage and get the scoop on telehealth? Where do you want it? Well, I'm not going to tell you. There is a healthcare fair coming up on January 24th from 10 to 2. And there are so many vendors, and it's going to be an exciting time to come and talk to all these experts. So please put it on your calendar, January 24th from 10 to 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Next up is our new activities chair. Carol is new to the job, and she's gonna just say, yeah, come on.
What's going to be? Go the other way. I'll get through there.
You're tiny, you'll get through there.
Thank you. Good morning and Happy New Year, if we haven't said that enough. Our committee met yesterday. We were very, very grateful to have Lisa back after a move, and she's happy to be here. And Becky, if you will turn around and see Becky, her by the way, it's a tough act to follow after you there, Wendy. We did meet, we had a lively discussion, and for those of you that might not know, I'm going to just give you the names of the people who are currently on the committee. Jenny Johnson, who's with us today, Chris Westmoreland, who may be here, I didn't see her, Ken Barber, and Penny Thompson, and myself. And come to us. We had a lively discussion, and I'm not going to give away any of Lisa's secrets.
Thank you so much, Carol. And thanks for being a part of the council.
Thank you.
We have Jim Jandrew, who's going to talk to us about a very important subject, FlightGrow.
Thank you.
As you know, I have a hard time with the microphone, and I've been following the lead now from Katie. And I thought maybe this will work better and you will understand and hear me better. But let me add another point to that. Hearing is very important to us seniors. It impacts your quality of life. I had 2 hearing aids, and they weren't helping me in understanding speech. So yesterday morning at this time, I had been on the operating table for about 2 hours. And they were implanting a cochlear implant in my head, under the skin, with a wire that goes directly to the audio nerve. The whole purpose of that is to improve my quality of life. So when I'm in a room like this, and there's a lot of talking going on, I will understand what's happening. That impacts my quality of life. I want to understand. There's technology out there. The cochlear has been around for 40 years. Not the one I got in my head, but it's been around for a number of years. It's not new technology. So, if you have a hearing issue, accept it and get something done about it. What I really want to talk about is the Florida Life Care Residents Association, or the acronym is FlightGrow. FlightGrow, not Flickr, FlightGrow. Okay? Not too long ago, you should have received, if you haven't yet, you will be very shortly, for those who have a contract with Cypress Village, an amount of $425.76. It's called homestead exemption. And you're getting that because FLYCRA passed a law that says you deserve the homestead exemption. $425. Now, what does FLYCRA do for you? It is the only statewide organization for residents that reviews legislative or regulatory proposals that can have an adverse effect on your quality of life. Legislative. They're meeting in March. Why is that important? Am I losing sound? No? Okay. It must be my hearing aids. The one I have in this ear. Currently, in draft, in Tallahassee, is a bill that's sponsored by FLYCRA and Leading Age Florida, which is the Association for Providers and Owners. We work together. And this proposed law is a modernization of Florida Statute 651. What's the importance of 651? It's the law that we have that protects our rights and gives us the rights that we earn and are part of our contract. That's what 561 does. Now, in this publication, and I'll talk about the distribution of this, in this publication is an article about that draft law. Now, recently, I invited Senator Clay Yarborough, who is our senator representing Cypress Village residents. I invited him to come to Cypress Village. He'll be here on the 2nd of February, 9:30 to 11:30 to talk to residents. And then from 9:30 to 11, and from 11 to 11:30, he'll be meeting with Ty and his leadership team. Clay has been a representative representing Cypress Village, has been here before for, I think it's 4 years, maybe 6. But he's now our senator. On 1 January, I distributed the FLYCRA Resident Connection, a bifold, and a flyer from your chapter. It went to every IL-AL resident. And I can say that very emphatically. Why? Because I made sure each one of us got that distribution. I will also tell you, if you didn't get it, check your neighbor, because your neighbor's got 2 copies of it. How do I know that? Because when I moved into the towers, I had a hard time getting all of my distribution. So I put a note on my box, and lo and behold, my distribution was staying in the box. You could say it's an accusation. No, it's a statement of fact from my perspective. Now, this FLYCRA information that I distribute to you, I have been doing it for 7 years. I think by now I know how to do it. Now, you may question that because when the doctor was in my head yesterday morning, there happens to be a titanium screen in my head from brain surgery that I had 20 years ago. So the doctor's in my head and he knows, because we talked about it, he knows he has to go through this titanium screen to get to my audio nerve. So there's a screw there. It's in his way. he takes the screw out. So I'm missing this screw now, okay? So blame the doctor, don't blame me. But he also found another screw that the head was missing. I have no idea where the hell that head is. In my head? Don't know. Anyway, I want to close by saying what do I tell new residents as part of the new resident orientation? I talk to them about FLICRA and I talk to them about veterans. Here's what I tell them about FLICRA. FLICRA is the only organization that makes sure the legislators don't reach into your pocket and take your money. That's what FLICRA does for you. So, join, $22 a year for single, $37 for 2 people in a unit versus $425. In my accounting, that's a pretty damn good return on investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Go Duval!
I guess the good news is you can have a council member with a screw loose and they still manage to accomplish many, many things. You don't have to be perfect. Next up is management updates. Ty is going to do plan operations since Dave is not here today.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here, and thanks for your time. I am filling in for Dave Green today, so I'm going to do the best I can in his absence. He wanted me to just refresh everybody on the 2022 projects that were carried over, and that is the assisted living memory care refresh, which is going on today as we speak. It's covering all 3 floors in the D Tower and C7. There will also be a new restaurant venue that will be open to the entire community up there, even though it's on the 7th floor in assisted living, and that will be called Treetops. We will unveil that at some point in April. We're assuming April or earlier. Furniture and carpet will be the final touches, and they will not be installed until early March, early April due to production timelines. But all construction up on those floors should be done within 6 weeks. So we are making good progress there. The Healthcare Center Therapy Garden and Country Kitchen, the extension of the exterior of the Rehabilitation Center, has been stuck with the state of Florida and ACA. They continue to ask us for additional information to provide them, and then they have 30 to 60 days to sit on that information before they come up with final determinations. But we expect this to be the final submission, and we can finally get that project off the ground. That also encompasses the Country Kitchen extension to the current first floor rehab gym. The green roof, again, this got stuck in red tape as well with permitting. This is the area that's going to enhance the back of, actually the front of the building in A Tower, the loading dock area where the generators are, in those particular areas. We're expecting that to be approved, I would say, in January, and the project to start shortly thereafter. Our 2023 capital budget, we are expecting approval by the end of this week. As soon as we have approval for that, we will present that to the entire resident body. Other plan operation updates, mulching. Tree Amigos has started the mulching on the property and is planning on finishing the entire campus by March, early March. Dead foliage, we have a lot of dead foliage from that hard freeze. My house looks just like everybody's house out here. Tree Amigos is recommending that all residents or homeowners do not cut the foliage, as tempting as it is to start new life and new sprouts. In case we have another freeze, the dead foliage will protect the current plantings themselves. So be patient with that. I know it's very difficult. I'm having the same struggles. Pressure washing on the houses. Dream Team Pressure Washing Company has started washing the houses on Gordonia. They're going to do the houses, the driveways, and sidewalks in each area that they service. As mentioned, they started on Gordonia, and they will hit Middleton Park Circle West second after Gordonia is completed. A flyer will be placed in all residents' mailing tubes prior to them hitting that next particular area to give you a heads up of what the schedule looks like. That's been working out so far. It's only been Gordonia, but it's a positive, so we'll take it. Dream Team will wash approximately 30 roofs a month, and the goal is to have all the houses done by June, going in the summer. So we should be all pressure washed, looking good and clean by the start of summer. Elevators, first and foremost, on behalf of Dave as well as myself, I want to apologize to all the residents, families, guests, friends that have been by, and have been also employees for that matter, that have been inconvenienced by the elevator's operabilities. I can assure all of you the elevator frustrations have not been taken lightly by myself, Dave, or Life Care Services. Without getting into too much detail or minutia, I can say that the ideal scenario for us here at Cypress Village was to maintain Maori elevators. As frustrated as we have been with them, they are not only the maintenance contractor, they're also the manufacturer. So approximately a month ago, we engaged a third-party consultant to perform an assessment of all 4 elevators. This information and report was very, very helpful for us to provide a basis of holding Maori accountable to specific areas that have been very deficient and very inconsistent in the operability. Subsequent to the engagement of the consultant, we sent a very direct letter, legal letter, detailing the areas that are unacceptable and need to be remedied immediately. If not, we would terminate the agreement with Maori and report them to the state for various areas of potential negligence and failure to fulfill our contractual obligation. I can tell you that letter needed to be drafted. It needed to be done probably a little bit earlier, but there is a hesitancy and a reluctance to that, because if they said, fine, we terminate, you guys have a great life, it puts Cypress Village in a very tough situation. So anyway, on the positive end, since the letter, they responded with a full commitment to our contract, to meeting our business and resident needs, which was great. The left side of C-Card will be completed and finished in the next few days, and their service and response times have improved significantly. They have committed to Cypress Village that all areas identified in the elevator consultant report, which are scheduled, will be completed by the end of January. And those are items outside of anything that our residents are aware of or that I was aware of based on the report that was conducted. Our expectation from Maori is consistent and operable elevators in all towers by the end of January. And additionally, one thing we noticed, and again, very new to me, but these elevators run on motherboards. And a lot of the outages that we were experiencing were due to bad motherboards being installed. I'm not a tech or engineer by any imagination, but what it was telling me is, well, if the motherboards keep going bad, let's get extra motherboards so when they're bad, we have them and we don't have to order them, right? Makes sense. So that is one additional step that we're going to take. They have agreed to purchase and stock additional motherboards that in any effort to remedy any failures, we have a quick, more timely response to that situation. So that's going to do it for Ty's Dave Green. Thank you for your time and have a great day.
Thank you, Todd. I think you could stand in for anybody.
Okay.
So if I don't show up next month, you can do my part.
Just ask. I'll do my best.
Next up, we have Hector. He's going to talk to us about what's going on in dining, which that's a fast-moving process.
As fast as it can be. Morning, everybody.
Morning, Hector.
So I'm going to kind of roll through a couple things that we've got planned. January is going to be a pretty aggressive month for us. First and foremost, we purchased the new equipment for Loon's Nest for the buffet in there. That'll help us in a couple of regards. That'll keep the food hotter. It'll be easier to get in and out of the chafing dishes. The equipment is going to aesthetically look very pleasing in there. and it'll keep the food hot. So that's a step in the right direction. Now, I'm going to contradict myself here a little bit, because in Loon's Nest, we're going to go to menu service. Starting on the 23rd of January, we're going to close down for the day, prep the new menu, get everything kind of tidied up, kind of a little spring cleaning in there. And then on the 24th, we'll roll out the new menu, and this is January 24th. The new menu will be available all lunches, and then 3 nights starting that Saturday, which is, the date escapes me, but the week of the 24th, that Saturday. So we'll run it Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The reason we decided to do that is because Middleton's is open for a la carte service at night on the opposite night. So it allows us to kind of have a little bit of flexibility there. The other 4 nights will still continue to be buffet. Continuing on Loon's Nest, once we get to the end of February, I'm looking at the 26th, we'll be able to go to 5 nights a la carte service and then just 2 nights buffet. And we'll keep the popular nights. We're leaning towards Wing Wednesday and Taco Tuesday, but quite honestly, we don't want 2 in a row. We might. But that's the plan for Loon's Nest moving forward. You know, the idea is to get more dining options open, more service, so that we're serving, you know, so you're seated service instead of buffet all the time, giving more options to the residents. And then just the only other thing I've got for today is breakfast buffet starts on the 17th of January. So we're excited about that. I've got a lot of good feedback on the breakfast buffet coming back with Ahmad kind of centerpiecing that. So it's pretty exciting, quite honestly, because we're starting to move the needle a little bit. Anybody have any questions?
Do you want to mention menu check coming back?
Yeah, menu check comes back tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow, Thursday.
2 p.m.
And dress, yes.
Can you address the meal of the day versus cost for the breakfast program?
Right.
Correct. So the breakfast when you see it come out is going to be pretty extensive. The reason for that is it's an exchange meal. So by doing an exchange meal, we wanted to make sure that you were getting a value for that breakfast buffet. I do not have a point of sale system in Middleton's currently. We're working on a new system. We're working on a new menu update program to replace one of the ones that we have that hopefully will connect with that. Once we do that, then we have some more options as far as that goes, but I can't tender cards, debit cards, cash, things like that, because I just don't have a system. Yes?
So if you wanted to have breakfast and dinner, you would have to pay $15 for one. Charge it on your account
Correct.
for breakfast.
Correct. Or you know, card, yeah, whatever, buy a card, a meal card.
Or buy a meal card?
The meal, yeah.
So on the spur of the moment, you wouldn't be able to have that?
No, you could, no. Charge it to your, yeah, it'll charge to
Where do
your
you buy the meal cards?
concierge. Concierge, right?
Business
Business office, SARS. Anything else?
Operation hours?
8 to 10. Yes.
There's a lot of meal cards floating around that mention strictly Loon's Nest. Would those be applicable to breakfast in Middleton?
Yes. Anything else? That was a good question. I didn't know that. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Hector. If you buy a meal card, for those of you that don't know, it's a little cheaper than $15. I don't remember exactly what it is. Somebody may know. But it is cheaper to get your meal for about, I don't know, $13, $13.50, something like that. So it's a good deal, particularly for people that are in an equity home, or if you want more than one meal a day. That concludes our meeting. Our next meeting is February 14th, Valentine's Day, 10 o'clock right here. And with that, we'll conclude the meeting. Thank you so much for coming. Great crowd.